you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away, as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music. Hello and welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man, Andy Gillard here. Hope everybody's keeping well in the world right now.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hello. Yeah, it's weird being just two of us again, and we're doing it on the Thursday.
Yeah, it's like almost old school feeling at the moment, isn't it? Which ties in nicely with your beers tonight.
Yeah, old school and new school from Aldi. Although it is Williams Brothers Brewing Company, so it's not an Aldi home thing. It's just imported, brewed and canned in Alloa. So there we are.
Okay, very nice. I don't think I've ever been to Alloa. I assume it's a shithole, but I have no idea. Like, it sounds like one, doesn't it?
Alloa Athletic.
I don't know what it is. It sounds like Warsaw to me, almost.
I mean, let's just have a look at Alloa. Google look at Alloa. It's probably going to be amazing. No, look at it. Wow. It's very much not Warsaw.
Okay, right.
The rolling hills.
We're on the banks of the River Forth. I have been by the River Forth, but it's quite a big one, so it does cover quite an area.
It looks like Table Mountain, Cape Town in the background there. In the Ochil Hills. There we are. Alloa.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe a holiday destination one day in the future.
Well, when I went to Helensburgh for my we stayed at Helensburgh when my cousin got married at Loch Lomond. It's just outside Glasgow, so I think it's about 20 minutes on the train from Glasgow. And it was a proper like seaside resort that no one's ever heard of. But they had like seaside resort shops with tat in the windows and things. A lot of it there from probably 50 years ago. But they had they had a massive pub. Well, the best pub there that had a massive solitaire painted on the front. Well, this was like 5-6 years ago as well, so not like raise the flag kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we walked in with the only English people in there. I thought, yeah, it's only going to go one or two ways. And they loved us there. They're, why are you even here?
To be fair, like Loch Lomond is quite a destination. It's fucking stunning around that area. So it would be a nice place to go. Is Loch Lomond, is that near where Ben Nevis is? I get confused. I know it's all sort of the west coast of Scotland, but it's Fort William which I have been to Fort William. Yeah, and Fort Augustus as well is quite nice. That's by Loch Ness. That's quite a nice place. Like, there's some really fucking stunning places in Scotland. There's also a lot of gack and heroin and
Scottish
stuff,
people.
so they're a lovely folk, to be fair, some of them.
When you get them on the road.
Mm.
Yeah. To be fair, the ones who are not completely up themselves are actually really, really nice people. That
I love Scotland, I've got to be honest. It's a nice country.
and we know Danny's family are wonderful, and the ones who we met. And I was quite shocked because I know we had to go through Glasgow and everything, and you kind of get this. And I know it's not Edinburgh; it's not train spotting everywhere, but it was a thing. Are they actually going to say anything to us? Because I don't know. I'd been to Scotland once, and that was to watch that Celtic Wolves friendly years ago on a Tuesday night.
Yes, I remember you telling us about that.
6 hours there, 6 hours back, and
Crazy.
so that was a very minute kind of section of the world to go to in the Gorbals. But yeah, they were wonderful with us. They made us feel really welcome, and we were there for 4 days. So when we lived mainly in the Wetherspoons for the food wise, because there was nothing really else there.
Yeah.
Other than the Holiday Inn that we stayed in. But no, it was great up there. I would definitely go. I mean, it's just cold, isn't it? That's the problem.
It can be. They get like one decent month per year, and that's when there's like fucking gnats everywhere. So you just can't win. I've never done Glasgow though. Like, I've driven past Glasgow, and we was on the motorway for hours on end trying to get through. And then it turned out the reason we was on the motorway for so long is because there was a car on its roof as we were driving back.
Yeah.
No idea what happened, but yeah, that was why the M74 just came to a standstill. Upside down car. So, okay. Now we know. Strange.
Yeah, it's still going to help, is it?
It's not really, no. Right, this week we have got, what's the name of this film again? Arsenal. I don't know why I keep struggling with the name of this film, but yeah, Arsenal from Southern Fury. Yeah, so we'll talk about that first, Stu, and then we'll go into what I've dubbed as Noughty Nic. We'll be looking at the films of Nick Cage, which have got a prefix of 0. So it's 2000 to 2009. Before that though, Stu, seen anything good, bad? Anything at all recently?
I started Ballard. Just because
okay. Yeah.
you'd mentioned it and said how good its reviews were getting, and it's really weird because it's obviously all in the Bosch universe, and almost instantly he's in it. So
yes, I
can't.
He's in it early doors. Yeah,
you can't really jump in. I suppose you could, and you got this idea that there's this bellend that she worked with before, because it's not really tied to that much lore. Really, you could jump in, but it's connected enough, and it doesn't like, oh yeah, this is just like Bosch Legacy was a spin-off of the main show. This is not that. It's the same universe, but there's people here who can kind of walk in and walk out, and it doesn't really matter. And as like Waking the Dead and Cold Case and all these kind of things that we've had in the past, it's good. If you like that kind of thing, it's good. Like, you're digging up old cases and you go into crime scenes from the past, and oh yeah, we didn't have lifting DNA off material fingerprints in the past. You can do that now.
Right. Okay, so is it Murder of the Week and it's all cold cases then? Is that the general gist of it?
No, it's more of an overarching thing. I could see it could go down that route once it's established. I mean, I haven't watched it all. I've watched 3 so far.
Right.
Just to get it, but the gist of it is very much playing on that fact of this is the story. Yeah, she's a bit disturbed because of course she is.
I've not even seen Bosch, but apparently, the reviews of this have made me think I might want to get in, because getting on the ground floor of this rather than going back to the beginning of Bosch and trying to catch up on several years.
Yeah, I mean, Bosch is the 10 seasons, 10 episode seasons, and there's 5 of them. I mean, I love Bosch anyway. And the feathers Titus whatever responds on Twitter, which is quite amazing. Whenever it is,
he's a nice guy, doesn't he? Yeah.
And 3 years of Bosch legacy, it run its course. It was fine. This is something new and it's different, but it still kind of keeps it all alive in a weird way. You could easily jump in here and go back to watch Bosch from the past as a kind of prequel thing. That wouldn't be that weird to do.
Yeah.
But it's good so far.
So I've heard people who've done Better Call Saul without watching Breaking Bad and then gone on to watch Breaking Bad afterwards.
That's fucking craziness.
It seems mad, but I've only seen a little bit of Saul, so I suppose you could, in theory, muddle your way through it, I suppose.
I mean, you can to start with, but then in the good seasons, when it's almost as much of a sequel as it is a prequel, that makes no sense at all.
Oh, right, okay. Interesting.
Because you get the the Hoover guy.
Yes.
The fixer
From El Camino, and he has a big role in that. Yeah,
he's in it. So it's like, well, what is going on here? And he's you shouldn't really do that.
Listen, because I'm watching a show called, I'm waiting for the second or third season of a show called Elsbeth, and she is set in New York. She's a lawyer who is working with the local police force, and apparently it's a spin-off from The Good Wife, which is like a political thriller. I've not seen The Good Wife. I didn't know this was a spin-off until the end of the last season of this show. And then all of a sudden a couple of other characters have come in, but you don't really, they're explaining enough to keep you up to speed. And I think if you're going to do these prequel, sequel shows, you need to be able to do that. In theory, you shouldn't have to watch any Game of Thrones to appreciate House of Dragon or whatever the next show is going to be, the Night of the Seven something, I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, at least with they are direct prequels. There's nothing tied them to it. I was in the wrong place to watch the Good Wife at the time. I know people love it, and I thought, I was probably too young, 5 years ago, wherever it was. But I wasn't really bothered or can be asked about all that kind of stuff at that time.
Same.
Now I probably would do. We've talked about House of Cards before, but that was slightly different. It's like The West Wing. It was too adult for me. It was too intense.
Same. But weirdly, Elsbeth is completely different. So each week is a different killer or crime, and it's quite upbeat and quirky, and it's not a comedy, but it's like a comedic drama, I suppose you'd call it. So not at all what I think The Good Wife is, which I think is quite heavy, very dramatic. So tonally it seems completely different, which is quite bizarre.
Well, it kind of fits strangely nicely into the other thing that I saw, that you can't go in without any prior knowledge, and that's Downton Abbey, the grand finale.
Oh dear.
No.
Was this Friday? When did you get into this one then?
I went Tuesday.
Right. Okay. With a good lady wife, or was it a solo jaunt?
Yeah. And my mother-in-law went as well, because she's going to watch it with her friend, but she's having illness issues at the minute, so she was gonna go, and she was gonna go on her own to watch it either. So I said, well, you can come with us if you want. And so I said, well, she will just book me a ticket on the aisle. It doesn't matter where. And funny enough, it was in 6. So we had 2 before the aisle, because that's the best one, because the aisle's like a third of the way in 6.
Yeah.
So I've got that one. And the fact that the concession price for pensioners is £1 less than normal. Outrageous. It's $12.99.
Unreal.
To go and watch that, which is, I thought, if I've been paying $12.99, I'm paying nearly 170 quid this year to watch some of the stuff that we have. Even though I've saved £7 altogether because I don't live there like you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. There was, I think there was about 20 people in there. Got 10 to 8 on a Tuesday night.
That's not a bad turnout for, as you say, Tuesday night. Downton Abbey. That's. I imagine you were probably the youngest person in there.
Well, saying that, I mean, yeah, I'm 9 months younger than Annabelle, so yeah, technically I probably was. To the day as well, as we found out in the past. The first advert was for life insurance. The second advert was for a funeral parlor. And
Right.
I just started laughing, and she's like, "What?" I went, "Look what the adverts are."
Know your audience.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very much so. But there is people in Downton Abbey that you very much know, that are recurring characters, that make cameos in this.
Mm.
It's not a surprise. I mean, they're not. They don't just reappear from nowhere. There's our friend Jolly Richardson's in it.
Oh, well, okay. I haven't seen her for quite some time, to be fair, but that's always nice to see her. I've just pulled up the list. Michelle
Dominic West.
Dockery, I am a fan of her. Dominic West, Elizabeth McGovern, who was in that Cage film recently.
Yeah. There's one that you'll look at and you'll see, what?
Um,
Are you looking at the film and not the show?
I'm looking at the film, yeah.
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
That's
Recurring,
Paul,
He's a
isn't it? Wow.
he's a recurring character in the series.
I did
Just,
not know that. That's a hell of a get, that is.
He's their uncle. Alessandro Nivola. He's in this.
Yeah. It's a solid cast, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a who's who of British TV
Mm.
as well, obviously. Yeah, Elizabeth McGovern. That's why he's in it, because she's obviously the American in Times,
Mm.
and it's her brother in the show. It's Paul Giamatti.
Right.
It's like the other two films. It's very weird because it's just like the TV. It's not filmed any differently, and it's almost like you know where the adverts are going to be, because it doesn't like it ends in its natural flow, like every 25 minutes, where it would normally be. So it just kind of fades off, and you expect the music to come up, and then it just goes black, and then it's next scene. And because there's so many characters all over the place from all the years, and
Yeah.
it's just like watching a 2-hour episode of the 2-hour special of the show, which is like kind of what you want.
Yeah, I said the reviews that I've heard are it's fine if you like the show. Like, it appeals to its audience, which, I mean, that's all it's got to do, isn't it, really? It's not going to try and be getting new viewers in at this point. So, yeah, I think it ticks the boxes of the hardcore fans.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Downton Abbey has hardcore fans.
Oh yeah, we're there. I mean, a lot of them are probably dead from the start, but
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, there's no way you'd watch this without watching having any prior knowledge, because it's pointless.
No.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
It's like when the Power Rangers movie came out in the 90s. Yeah, that was a continuation of the TV show, but it also had graphics in it and made it all better. And it wasn't quite good enough, because the CG was shit anyway. But that was the whole point of Power Rangers.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Good Behaviour with Michelle Dockery in? It was a TV series, 2 seasons, 2016-17. She played a con artist, and she ended up getting involved with some guy, and it was like quite tense, very heavy, but it was excellent. It was such a good show, and got cancelled before it got a resolution. So fucking frustrating.
No, I would have been quite mad.
Yeah.
This Town is the only other thing I've seen her in. That's
She's a very good actor.
Yeah, she's good. I mean, in this, she's got a proper, like as they all have, proper prim and proper, of the time accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them that just because they are on an English TV, you kind of get typecast as these people, but a lot of them are excellent.
Super. Well, I went to see.
Let's say the show. It was obviously as a tribute to Maggie Smith as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Just she was in it. It was the first one that's ever been without her.
How did they handle the death? Did they explain it away, or was he just sort of ignored?
I mean, spoilers for the last film. Yeah, she's dead in the show. So
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough. I didn't realise. Fair enough. Makes
yeah.
sense.
So they had a portrait of her. And
It's a nice nod because at least then she's still in it, even if she can't be there.
Yeah, there's a portrait of her in the main foyer, and that was the ending shot of the film. Who cares? She sees all the ghosts. Obviously, Dan Stevens was in the show as well.
Was it really? I didn't realise that.
Yeah, years ago. He had an end, but there's like a montage at the end of all like kind of where you look, the whole classic thing of looking up and there's ghosts from the past and stuff.
Right,
a lot of it was obviously stock footage, but he looked like he looks now. So I don't know if he was back just to film a little dance as something to do.
Maybe.
But then it pans up to the portrait of then Maggie Smith, and then it goes to black. Oh, class. In loving memory of.
It's like, sounds like it's wrapped up quite nicely then.
Yeah, I mean, it passes it on to that's the point of it. It starts with the Titanic sinking in 1912, and this is in 1930. So it's got the span of that change of Britain.
Yeah.
Under its belt. You don't need to go to other world wars because they've already dealt with that. So
yeah. Okay. Super. In a complete different pace, then I've been to The Long Walk, the Stephen King adaptation. It was so good, Stu. Like, it's up there as one of the best Stephen King adaptations, I think. And I know that they can be very hit and miss. And I know that he doesn't always particularly like the adaptations of his work. I know he didn't like The Shining, for example, even though that is probably the premiere one. Although, having seen Doctor Sleep, was it the sequel to The Shining? So that a year or two ago, I was really impressed with how good that was as well. But yeah, so this one is just basically we're in a dystopian future. We won the war, as the Second World War, but America didn't come out of it with any sort of momentum, so it started to slip and slide, and the country's in an absolute shambles. This film is basically a microcosm of America now. It is saying that we're in a shit situation, and in order to get through, we have to try and go in the same path. So it's a group of lads who all walk together. They have to keep above 3 miles per hour. If you go below that, you die, basically. You get killed. And you have to keep going until one person is left. So it's, last man standing, basically. It's a story of brotherhood, of friendship, of community, and it's dystopian as fuck. Like, there's a couple of parts in it that was so beautiful and so, like, your heart swells, and then something happens and you're just like, oh, just fucking kill them all because it's never going to get any better. It was, it really took some wild swings that I thought were fantastic, that landed really well. It had David Johnson, the young lad the young British actor who was in the last Alien film, played the robot in the Alien film, who's from Roy Lane as well, which was like one of my favourite films from.
Yeah,
3.
Oh, you're on a bit.
He was in it, and like he stole every scene he was in. He was absolutely magnificent. He's going to run Hollywood one day. You can just see that he's got something special about him. And it also had Cooper Hoffman, Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, was the other lead in it.
Well, the last time you said someone's going to ruin Hollywood, that turned out to be a bad one, and they destroyed the MCU. So don't say that again.
Which one was that?
I forgot his name now. The one who was in Ant-Man. The one who was supposed to be the big bad.
I can't even remember who it is now.
You do,
Oh, fucking Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. So I couldn't even knowing his name, I'd forget his name again instantly.
It's not a good sign. He's a very good actor, and if it wasn't for the fact that him being a bit of a wrong one, he probably would be doing a lot more now, but shit happens, doesn't it? But yeah, I think you will like The Long Walk. Have you seen The Mist?
Yeah, both of them. Oh well, all three.
Oh right, okay. So it's very much like the Frank Darabont adaptation of Stephen King. Like it has that kind of America in a microcosm is pretty much the core of the film. I think if you like that, you will probably get on really well with this movie.
Well, Under the Dome was like that as well.
Mm.
The
I
series.
don't think I saw Under the Dome. Was that the Spielberg? Steven Spielberg, was it that one producing it? Or am I thinking of something else?
It was. It had a massive budget though compared to a lot of the other stuff at the time.
Because I remember there was that and a show called Eureka. And
Eureka was
Eureka.
Eureka was excellent though.
That was good fun. But I vaguely remember them being at roughly the same time, and they both felt like they were very similar in tone.
Well, Dean Norris was in Under the Dome.
Okay, and Eddie Cahill from CSI New York.
Eureka actually finished though, didn't it? It actually had a proper ending.
Yeah, it did. Thankfully,
so
it was
Eureka,
one of those sci-fi shows that ended up having being a hit.
2006 to 2012.
Oh, so that ended as this started then, because Under the Dome's 2013.
Well, a town called Eureka, as it was.
Yes, yeah, that's the one. So yeah, anyway, The Long Walk. I also saw Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. If you like Spinal Tap 1, you will like Spinal Tap 2, because it's pretty much the same jokes. and don't get me wrong, I love This Is Spinal Tap, so I loved Spinal Tap 2. And that's all I needed. I didn't need them to come out and reinvent the wheel. I needed silly bollocks, and that was it. So yeah, it was a winner for me, that was. I enjoyed it. Oh, the other thing, so Ludwig, I think it is, sorry, the BBC show from last year, finally got round to watching it. 6 episodes, really fucking good. It was so much better than I expected it was going to be. Pretty basic story. David Mitchell plays twins. One twin is a detective. The other one plays Ludwig, who is a puzzle setter. The detective goes missing. We don't know what's happened. He just vanishes. So his wife calls in Ludwig and says, I need you to infiltrate the police. I need someone to go into your brother's office and get this notebook. And the only person who can do that is him or someone who looks like him. So he goes in, and whilst he's in there, he's like chief intendant or whatever, like his second in command ends up dragging him to a murder case. And then ends up solving murders whilst trying to solve his brother's disappearance. Like, it's funny enough that it's very enjoyable, but there's also like a very good conspiracy underneath it all that keeps it going. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
I wouldn't have thought of him as being like more than just himself. Like as a comedy actor, he's like,
yeah, I mean, he plays socially awkward very well, and I think he probably is quite socially awkward himself. So it does work. But you've got him and Ralph Ineson's in it.
Oh well, there you are. Then that's a seller.
Yeah, and what's her name? The woman from Line of Duty, who was also, she wrote Motherland, the comedy show Motherland. Motherland is, that's gonna bug me. Anna Maxwell Martin. She plays the wife in it. So there's a few sort of British stalwarts who you'll recognise from stuff.
Oh, it says here, and I play it, Ludwig will return.
Yeah. 8.1 on IMDb. So it's very well regarded. I think you'd enjoy it because it feels like proper Sunday evening TV. Very much that kind of thing, yeah.
Well, after watching that, I mean, that's what Ballard is, the American, and Bosch is the American version of that. That's what it is.
Okay, right.
That's really why I love it so much.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Well, with it, like Dexter as well, like Dexter Resurrection, which has now been renewed, thankfully.
Yeah, so that confused me because I'd read that it had been cancelled. So what's the one that's been cancelled?
So what happened was, I think because he was busy doing something else, So a bit like I think it was a similar situation to remember when Spartacus happened, and obviously he couldn't do it for obvious tragic reasons.
Yeah.
So they went and did a prequel, a mini-series prequel, based on the characters who were already in it. And then they came back, and obviously he had to be recast because he sadly died. They went back and did a Dexter prequel series called Original Sin, and cast Dexter as, and the guy who played Dexter is the guy who's playing Bond in the new game.
Okay.
Who's Irish. Great. But the mannerisms and everything of all of the characters in there, it was spot on. It was brilliant. It was really, really good. And then obviously the Paramount merger happened and they cancelled it. For whatever reason.
Happened.
Yeah, so it got really good. It got decent ratings. It was well received. People liked it. And then it was like one or the other, I guess. And then it had been renewed originally, and then it was cancelled afterwards. Whereas Resurrection was, I mean, they could leave Resurrection as it is, how it ended. It was fine. But seeing him back as Dexter, different story altogether. So, and bringing back some of the original cast as well. After all this time, it's like, yeah. And obviously it was a hit, and then they're going to make more. So why not?
Yeah, it's usually the way, isn't it? Super. I suppose we better talk about Arsenal or Southern Fury, whatever you want to call it. Oh, this. I got to like 40 minutes and I'd taken 2 breaks. By 40 minutes in, I assumed I had like 10 minutes left. And I still had 50 minutes of the movie left. This was a struggle to get through.
I think this is, with recency bias aside, this is the worst film we've had to watch for this in 5 years. It was so bad.
It's down there. Unquestionably down there, yeah.
I mean, I watched this on Monday afternoon. Middle of the day. Monday's my day off as well, remember? So I hadn't been to work early, got up, took Corey to school at 8 o'clock, proper sleep, didn't watch the Jets be terrible, watched the next game, Eagles, very good. In bed for 12:30, up at 8. Perfect normal bedtime. Didn't do any housework, just sat around, lazy about. It's match of the day too, even though I'd watched both games. All match of the day Sunday as it is now.
Okay, all right. I didn't realise they changed it.
Exactly the same show. Just too good, too bad to be taken out. But that's the only thing. So there was no reason for me to be that tired. I lasted 20 minutes and I'd fell asleep in the middle of the day. And there's a reason why I've got on my recurring alarm on my phone for 1 minute to 3, just in case this kind of thing happens. And I'd nodded off and I'd missed about 10 minutes, so I rewound it. And then it happened again. And like I said, it was probably the same places for you. It was just fucking shit. All it was an excuse to show some fancy graphics or camera work.
Yeah, like the scenes of violence, and like I have no problem with violence in film at all, but it was so gratuitous, so needlessly over the top, like borderline cartoon. How much shit that they were pumping out of it. I was like, I don't know why you're doing any of this stuff to it, because you're not like making it more impactful. If anything, you've just slowed it down and made me look at my phone because I'm bored shitless. That's not a good sign.
And even the bit where, I mean, only 5 minutes, no one watched this. So just the warnings. The bit with these with their dad's brains all over the ceiling, and I thought that the effects were great in it. No qualms about that for a change.
For a very low budget thing, they did a decent enough job on that side of it.
The practical stuff,
but
the practical stuff, and the you compare it to RoboCop. You talk. That's the level of violence. RoboCop directors cuts the level of violence you're talking about here. Just outrageous.
At least RoboCop is a satire of state oppression.
Yeah.
This isn't, like, not even close to anything like that.
I mean, it's oppressive watching it. That's one.
Mm.
But the whole point of it, the whole brothers thing, why? It didn't make any difference other than the kidnap angle, which, like, all the stuff, the side stuff, like, it was pointless.
Yeah, all of it. Oh, the whole. Do we need to go back to what was the other film that Eddie King is in? Deadfall,
Where he dies as well.
where he dies, and then he dies at the end of this film. So this isn't a prequel or a sequel, and that isn't a prequel or sequel to this. Like, why is he playing the same character in two films that aren't linked? And the other film was directed by Christopher Coppola, his brother, and Christopher Coppola appears in this. So it's very clearly that there's some link. But why, how, and why? I have absolutely no answer to any of these questions. Because it's such a fucking mess. And the last one, to be fair, was a mess as well. So what was the point in any of this film? Like, there's just absolutely none. Because it's not like we need to show it's not this is Darth Vader, we need to see Anakin Skywalker. Because no one gave a shit about Eddie King in the first film. We don't need a prequel Eddie King or sequel to him. So I don't get it. Why would the director think, oh, you know what we need? We need more Eddie King. I don't get it. What is the thinking behind any of this stuff? It was so weird.
It's like the South Park Kenny thing where it doesn't make any sense. He doesn't need to. It's just here.
That's it. So what he's saying is, in 2029, we need another Eddie King film where he dies at the end of it as well. And yeah. And that wouldn't be like, that might improve this film if they did that, in fairness.
I mean, you just imagine the state that the wig's going to be at that point.
Oh, God. Yeah, I've got the, what have I put down here in some of the notes? Blah, blah, blah. Costume design is honky and everyone is dressed like they're in a different movie. And yet I don't like how everyone looks the same. White guys, sort of greasy hair, overlong stubble, dressed like a schlub. They all look the same. With that said, Wig Watch makes a return. Actors acting with a silly putty nose and fake mustache. It's like, yeah, all of that. And it was weird how I didn't know who anyone was apart from Nick Cage, because they were just interchangeable people.
Yeah. And they jump from the brothers as kids to later. They don't look anything like them.
No.
And so you're, okay, that one's got a bit of grey in his beard, so I'm guessing he's the older one.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, when they were kids, like, you got a big brother and a small brother, and then when they're adults, they've swapped around, and the older brother's the smaller one, and the younger one's the taller. Like, oh, you've confused me. And you can't start a film like that on that footing. Immediately, it's got my back up, and I'm thinking, no, you've fucked with the contraventions of film here. This does not make any sense. You've got to make the big kid be the big man and the opposite.
Yeah, they've gone Del Boy and Rodney.
Yeah, and then swapped it halfway through. It doesn't work like that. That's not how film works. And that's what was it called, Arsenal, by the way? Have you got any idea why they changed it?
No.
Because I know Southern Fury will be because I think it's set in Texas, which is the south of North America. So I sort of get that. But I don't understand Arsenal because there's no guns or gun running or anything like that. This is about drugs. So why is it Arsenal? I don't get it.
Yeah. And there's nothing to... I mean, I'm guessing that's why they have to have the alternative name, because Arsenal probably sued them.
Eventually, yeah.
But that'll be more interesting than anything that happened, actually. If Arsenal Football Club had got involved in this nonsense.
Yeah. I'd prefer a film on that than what we actually watched.
Watching Arsenal All or Nothing with Arteta's brain and heart drawings is more entertaining than this.
It's a low bar, isn't it, this one?
I mean, none of the baseball stuff, didn't understand why. Was
Nope.
that. None of it. Is it because, they played it as kids and now they're playing it again as adults? Is that what are we supposed to get from that?
Maybe, but like we've got the through line of him giving him a lawnmower at the beginning of the film, and then he becomes a gardener when he's an adult. Like, we know that they've got these things that they've followed through. So, I mean, I get maybe they're just doing it again and again just to drive the point home. But what that point is, I don't really know. I don't think the director and writer of the script really know either.
Because any of the side characters in this, I wouldn't recognise after 4 days later of watching.
Not a clue. I mean, I watched it yesterday and I've forgotten quite a lot of this film already. Yeah, it's terrible. We did get some Crazy Cage though. When he was cornered by by Eddie's brother, not his own brother. I did quite like when Cage lost his shit and he screamed at him, "I'm gonna get my money out!" And I don't really know what he said, but he just screamed at him. Oh, okay, cool. And then he when the brother gets distracted and Cage just hits him, and then we get that slow motion clip where he's straddling him. And for a minute, I thought, like, he looks like they're having sex, not fighting. It was not at all appropriate for the type of film that they were showing. Alst was being played out to this really bad gospel music as well,
Yeah.
which just didn't work. There was no, like, because sometimes they do it where, like in Superman, where you had the Noah and the Whale track. Was it Life Goes On? I can't remember which one it was. No, it wasn't. It was the other Noah and the Whale track played out to the violence that was going on. So sometimes you have that juxtaposition that works really well. The light, airy song to the violence. Brilliant. This wasn't like it. It felt like it was gospel music as sung in an episode of The Simpsons, played out to some absolute savagery going on between Eddie King and his brother. It didn't work at all. But that was the highlight of the film.
Yeah, and like all this. Well, I think the highlight of the film was the gun shootout at the end that went very Max Payne, Matrix.
Yeah, it was so over the top, wasn't it? It was.
Which, as with all these things, it felt 20 years too old.
It did, didn't it? Because again, was this 2017?
2017, yeah. Matrix came out in 1999.
Yeah.
So Max Payne, I'm guessing, came out a few years after that.
Apparently, it feels like mid-noughties. It feels.
Apparently, there's a high-res remake like the Mafia games coming of Max Payne. So I might actually finally get to play it because every time I've tried to play it, I played it on my PS2 broke when I played it, failed. Played it on PS3, my PS3 died. Well, I ain't doing it again. No,
it's not worth the risk, is it?
And then I tried to one of the first things I tried to emulate didn't work. But I'm just not going to play this game ever. I played Max Payne 3,
like it,
where he's bald and he's got a beard.
Oh right, okay. I don't think I've ever played any of the sequels. I've like briefly played the first on an emulator as well, so like not even properly.
Yeah, I mean the jumping the sideways and slowing time down stuff. It's great. But that's what the final part of this film was. And that was what was the best part.
Yeah, it was. So, film good, film bad. It's horrendous, isn't it, Stu?
Oh, shit. It was just it was. There's nothing redeemable about it. It was boring and unnecessary. And there's no redeemable features about it whatsoever.
No, it was so incredibly. Like, I can't even say it was paint by numbers, really. I mean, they tried to do a lot of the tropes of a kidnap mobster kind of thing. And I suppose they did, but it was in such a slow, plodding... Like, it was 92 minutes, I think it was, overall. And it felt like 3 hours.
Yeah.
It really did drag. It was horrific. Like, I mean, next week, we'll be doing the Nick Cage in the 2010s. This is potentially going to be the worst one, you know? I mean, it's one of the worst ones that I think he's done, full stop.
Yeah.
It's going to be, like, personally, look, just off the top of my head, it's going to be between this and Left Behind, maybe.
But even Left Behind's funny, though.
Yeah, like it's not supposed to be funny, but it is funny. Like I would take watching that, even though that's 2 hours long. I will take watching that over this any day of the week because this was just painful. Cage good, Cage bad.
Um, ah, that's the thing though. Again, he's so over the top in this one.
Hmm.
I mean, he's not bad, is he? This is however bad the film is. He's terrible, but because the film's terrible, and he's doing ridiculous things again. But I kind of said it last week about how I thought that he was bad, just about, and I think even the crazy cageness in this seems too forced to be real.
Yeah, forced is the word that I was going to use.
So yeah, bad.
Like is
Bad scale for this one.
Yeah, I agree. It's forced. Forced is exactly it because it was so over the top. It was like he knew that this was a shitter, so he was giving it 110% to try and pull it up, and it just didn't work. So
Yeah.
no, bad for me as well.
The opposite of Gunslingers.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah. At least he did a good accent in Gunslingers, I suppose. I say good accent. He did an accent in Slingers. Yeah. If you enjoyed Arsenal, you may also like what you got.
Paint drying on the wall. Going on very little, but I mean, there's so many revenge films we've talked about that before.
Mhm.
You know what? It made me want to watch, which I haven't seen for a long last time. It's Hard Boiled.
Okay.
Just for
That's been a long time, yeah.
the John Woo-ness of it all, of that last scene.
It does feel like the director was like trying his best to do John Woo-y kind of actiony stuff with the slow-mo and all that. Like it was just missing flying doves for the apparent reason. It did feel like it was a very poor homage to that.
And
the Face Off again, actually.
Again, in the church with the doves.
Mm.
It probably is. You know how it probably is.
I think, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
I mean, there was again. It's probably it's buried on PS3 now, but there was a sequel to Hard Boiled called Stranglehold.
Okay,
That
I
was
don't think I've ever heard of that.
It was a game sequel.
A game set, okay.
Yeah, so the game was a sequel to the film.
And was it any good or?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was a very like Max Payne-y kind of thing. When was that? Stranglehold. What year was that? 2007. Yeah. Chow Yun-fat was in it as Inspector Tequila.
Okay, well,
Again,
interesting.
In a game back then as well.
And
it was directed by John Woo as well.
Excellent. The film that I would recommend, so I'm going off the kidnap angle on this one. So the film that I recommend is The Disappearance of Alice Creed. Have you seen that one, Stu?
Don't think so.
So it is a 2009 horror action thriller. Like I remember seeing this at the Lighthouse, old independent cinema. It's Gemma Arterton.
Oh, Gemma Arterton. Yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gemma Arterton, Martin Compston, Eddie Mars, and it's basically 3 people in a film. The 2 men kidnap Alice Creed, Gemma Arterton's character. It's very tense. And like I remember at the time being obsessed with Gemma Arterton because like St. Trinians as well was just incredible. And yet this was like her coming out party, I think, where she stepped up and became more than just a bit of eye candy in movies. Excellent movie, really good. I haven't seen it for a good long while myself. I quite fancy watching that again. I've been seeing this one.
Because she was in, well, she was eye candy in the Bond film, and she spoke out about that, didn't she? Even though she accepted the role in the first place. But
was she the one was she covered in like oil or something? I vaguely remember seeing an image of her like when they killed her character and she was covered in some, I think it was oil, or I don't think it was gold because it wasn't Goldfinger, was it?
No, but it was was it that the 50-year anniversary?
Potentially. I mean, obviously, I've not
Yeah.
seen these films, so I've only seen clips and so I vaguely remember her criticisms of it.
But she was in. I don't think that was from a Bond film though. I think it was.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you
I don't. What was the character's name in that film?
In
Was
the
it was
Bond film?
Vesper something? Yeah.
No, Vesper Lind was in GoldenEye. That was Famke Janssen.
Oh, okay, right. I don't know then.
She was in. Oh no, yeah, she was in the
she-
fucking shit one. She was in Quantum of Solace. That it was the 50-year anniversary. It was 50-year anniversary of Bond. I'm sure it was. That's why she was covered in oil on the bed.
I just did Control and F on her IMDb page to try and find the film she was in, and I was going to type in Question of Sport, not Quantum of Solace, so that's why I couldn't find it. But yeah, that's my recommendation anyway. Okay, Shiv. So we've got one film left after this one, which is going to be Outcast, which will be the final film of the 2010s. So next week we'll be reviewing Nick in the 2010s. So we've got Nick in the noughties to do this week. So there's 22 films. I've not included Werewolf Women of the SS because we pretty much concluded when we did Nick in the 80s that like when he does anything too small like that, the best of times or whatever it was called, he doesn't really count, does it? So I thought we'll do the 22 films, like actual proper feature films that he appeared in, even if they were cameos. I don't think any of these ones are cameos though in this stretch of movies. No, he's the main star in quite a lot of these movies, which I suppose makes sense because late 90s Nick is like probably the run of his career up until probably the 2020s, to be perfectly honest. When you look at everything from 95, I think what we got. So 95, we've got Leaving Las Vegas, 96, The Rock, 97, Con Air, Face Off, City of Angels in 98, Snake Eyes also 98, 8mm and Bringing Out the Dead in 99. So mid to late 90s Nick is very much, these are films for adults, whether they're silly films like Face Off or serious films like Face Off. You know, he's trying to do a bit of grown-up cinema, I think. But as we move into the noughties, so the first one was, let's say the first few really, you've got Gone in 60 Seconds, The Family Man, Captain Corelli's is probably a little bit more mature themed. Christmas Carol, Wind Talk, like he's starting to drop in a couple of like almost Disney-esque movies, trying to be a bit more family friendly, it looks like, early doors.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't think's a bad thing, in fairness, because like we have seen that he is capable of doing other stuff. Like I know you liked Trapped in Paradise, I didn't.
Oh right, yeah, but I know how shit it is though. It just appeals to me on a lot of different scales.
But I don't remember him. He wasn't bad in that film. It's just Dana Carvey was the worst thing that's ever existed.
Yeah, I mean, Trapped in Paradise is exactly the same kind of thing that why I watch Fire Ice and Dynamite all the time every year, because it's shit, but it's funny and it's Christmas. It's not a good film, neither of them are, but
no.
There is a good Christmas film on this list, and we'll obviously get to that in a bit. But yeah, I mean, I did have Grindhouse, or I'll take Grindhouse off just because I know that character that he's in that as well, and the werewolf, the SS woman, because it's a one.
It doesn't really fit anywhere, I don't think. So, okay, so we'll start at the start then. So Gone in 60 Seconds, which is 2000, starring Nick Cage, Angelina Jolie, etc., etc. Let's pull up the notes on this one. Cage plays a retired car thief, Memphis Reigns, forced back for one last job, steal 50 cars in 72 hours to save his brother. Critics said it was glossy but hollow. Audience enjoyed the vroom. Cage leather jacket core offset by his oddly tender pep talks to vehicles. Fun fact, the hero car Eleanor became a cult icon, sparking legal battles over its likeness. I've got it in so the way I've done it, I don't know if you didn't say, but I broke mine into pretty much 4 groups, like the top 6, upper mid, lower mid, and then bottom 6, pretty much, because it doesn't quite work out to 4. I've got this in the upper mid. I don't think it's it's enjoyable enough, but it's not great. Like, there are some films on this which I would tell people to go and watch. This is more of it's a rainy day. Yeah, this will do. There's nothing else on TV. That's fine. Proper Channel 5 fare, it feels like.
Yeah, and I remember being quite disappointed with this because I loved this film for years and years. But it is not Fast and Furious, which is better than it.
Yeah.
So
completely.
And obviously it's a remake anyway. It's better than the original remake.
I don't think I've ever seen the original.
It's very of its time. It's up, but then
60s.
Yeah, it's like if they're trying to remake Bullet now, it would obviously be wank.
Yeah,
but the original was old enough to be remade. That it was never a classic anyway, so it is what it is.
Fair. A bit like Ocean's 11, sort of.
Yeah. And
the original's not a class. The original's not even good.
No,
it's just because of who's in it, rather
than
the actual film itself.
The original Ocean's 11 is better than the woman one.
I haven't seen it. I've seen the first one. I've seen Ocean's 12, which was shit. So I didn't bother with 13 or was it Ocean's 8? Was it the last one, which was with all the women in all the women in James Corden? I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, I don't know why I did it. It just no.
No, absolutely not. Like, his name on a film immediately puts me off at the best of times, to be honest. And it's a franchise I don't really have a lot of love for outside of that, the first remake. So yeah, upper mid. Right, the next film then, Stu, is the one I'm thinking that you alluded to with a good Christmas film, The Family Man. Wall Street hotshot wakes up in a what-if life as a suburban dad. Critics found it sentimental but charming. Cage balances smarm and sincerity. He reportedly based some of his dad mannerisms on his own family life. It's basically A Wonderful Life in reverse, but with more eggnog. This is the one starring Taya Leone as well.
I'm watching this in 8 weeks' time.
13th, got it penciled in.
13th of November, it's going to be the first one of this season. Yeah, I love this film. And
top 6.
I've
got it top 6.
Is it, how many have I actually got in it? Because I ranked them A to D.
Okay.
So I've got A1, A2, A3. Yeah, so I've only got an A4. So this is 5. Yeah, so this is 5th. It was B1. So yeah, there we go.
I can't argue. I thought it was a really good film. As someone who doesn't particularly care about Christmas movies, I liked Cage in it. I like the fact that he starts off as an absolute dick and he's quite dislikable, and you get a good character arc. I love how hot Taya Leone is in this movie. You can see why he gave up his everything for her, and she was so sweet and just incredible in this movie. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was a tremendous film. Captain Corelli's Mandolin from 2001 is up next. A romantic war drama set in Greece in World War II. Cage's Italian officer woos Penelope Cruz's local woman. Critics panned his accent, a recurring punchline in Cage lore, but praised the scenery. Cage learned mandolin for the role, and the instrument became a rap gift for cast members. I remember enjoying the talk about the film more than I enjoy watching the film.
Because it's been a few years, hasn't it, since we watched this?
Yeah.
and I still remember most of it,
Mhm.
which is a lot better than you can say for some of this shit on here.
It's more than you can say for fucking Arsenal, which was 3 days ago.
Hey, yeah, exactly. I liked Captain's. I didn't think I would,
Mhm.
and it was the one I was kind of dreading before I knew the depths that we had to plunder.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's B for me.
Mhm.
Upper mid.
Yeah, I've got it in the upper mid. It would probably be, like, towards the bottom of the upper mid, but there's some real shit in here
Yeah,
that just means that this is bad, but it's not bad, so
yeah,
it stays there.
it's in. Yeah, there's one just below it in upper mid area for me.
Yeah, I've got it probably about 10th, something like that, so it probably works out roughly the same, I imagine. The next one, this is lower mid for me. It was The Christmas Carol, the movie, the one that is available to watch on YouTube because nobody gives a shit about this movie. Animated retelling of Dickens' classic. Cage voices Jacob Marley. Critics found it flat adaptation despite its starry voice cast. Cage's Marley is more bemused than menacing, possibly the only ghost in cinema history who sounds like he's negotiating a movie deal. It was just the most straightforward retelling of a thing that we've seen a million times. It offered absolutely nothing. Again, it's only not in the bottom 6 for me because there are worse films, but if you told me that this was bottom 3 for you, I wouldn't argue, to be honest. I think it's awful.
It's my bottom one. It's the worst
Is it
one on
really?
this. And bear in mind, there's something else in here that I've hated for 5 years. It is the
Yeah,
worst one.
yeah. I assumed that would be pretty low, to be fair, but we'll get to that one. Speaking of things that weren't great, 2002 Wind Talkers, World War II actioner about Navajo code talkers. Cage plays a Marine assigned to protect one. Critics felt the war cliches drown out the unique premise. Cage did weapons training with the Marines. The film explosions were so big they reportedly rattled nearby Las Vegas casinos. It was crap. Like,
Yeah, I know. So you're going to be split on this one. I enjoyed it more. It's bottom. It's lower mid for me as well.
yeah, I've got lower mid as well.
Yeah, seasick.
But
Um,
it's not a good film at all, is it? It just
no, it was
cliche
it's
reading is the right way to describe it, I think.
a missed opportunity because it was a great idea, and it was nice how they used proper people as well.
Mhm.
Um, proper wing, uh, not race baiting and casting people of that type. Navajo are they? Navajos.
Yeah.
And so they did it justice from that point of view, but it was a bit of a mess.
I remember us saying at the time that it should have been focused on the Wind Talker, not on Nick Cage's character.
Yeah.
The focus was completely wrong, and the film fell flat because of it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll say I've got it lower mid as well. Adaptation 2002, a meta-comedy drama where Nick Cage plays both neurotic screenwriter Charlie Kaufman and his fictional twin. Critics rave. Cage earned an Oscar nod. His dual performance is a masterclass in contrast and a sweating profusely. Fun fact, Donald Kaufman, the twin, quote unquote, is credited as the co-writer and was Oscar nominated too, even though he doesn't actually exist. Top 6 easily. Like, this is one of his best performances and one of the best films of this particular run of movies. Like, this, arguably, when we come to do our top 10s, it's more than likely going to be in my top 10, I think. I think it's a very, very good movie.
Best film of the decade, A1.
I really like Kaufman, so
yeah,
it works for me a lot.
Not even in doubt. This was a masterpiece, and kind of backed up by the Academy, which is obviously I don't like them, but yeah, you can't argue with it. It's just class. Everyone is good. Everyone is good in this film, and he is exceptional.
Yeah, like you said, you can't argue with the fact that he was Oscar nominated off the back of it. It was incredible. The 7th film is 2002's Sonny. Cage's directorial debut. James Franco as a soldier returning to his mother's brothel. What a fucking line that is. Critics found it uneven, though Cage's cameo as flamboyant pimp is pure meme fuel. The film tanked, but Cage later said directing was like skydiving without a parachute. Bottom 6. Awful movie. I kind of want to see more of Nick Cage directing, and it would probably be like the top of the bottom 6. But I still think it's one of the weakest films of this particular run.
So how many? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 5 in D. So this is C. It's the top. Yeah. This is just about bottom of 6.
Yeah. So it's the 6th of 6. Okay. Yeah. Again, in agreement there. Good to see. Would you want more Cage directing? Because like he's getting to that point of his career where is he going to keep just going in front of the camera, or is he going to give it another shot? It's been 23 years.
It wasn't badly shot or anything like that, was it? That wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem with it.
Script was the problem.
Yeah, and he didn't write the script. He didn't sing the theme tune. So it wasn't. That wasn't the problem with the film. It looked fine, and a lot of the stuff, like we said at the time about that, when it showed up on the building and the camera pans and that kind of stuff was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you think
I feel like, yeah, if he's got a good team with him, I think he could get something decent out there. I would like to see him give it another go. I don't know. I get the impression that he might be more of a producer, maybe. I think he might be the kind of guy who will see something and want to support it. I think maybe that might be where his future lies.
I know we've only got
acting, but who knows?
We've only got this to judge, but it reminded me of what Clint Eastwood like.
Right. Okay. How so? Like just in terms of directing.
Yeah. Just in terms of like certain ways things were shot, and it's hard to describe because I haven't seen a lot of Clint Eastwood directed films. I've seen a few.
Yeah.
And the few I would kind of, if you said, oh yeah, this was one of his early films, you kind of, oh yeah, okay, I believe that. I didn't think it was a bad directly at all.
No.
Yeah, we never mentioned it at the time really, but because it was just padding it for the nonsense that was the rest of the film. But
yeah. But that otherwise, it's not an enjoyable film. But like you say, the direction wasn't really the issue. Number 8, so Matchstick Men from 2003. Cage plays an OCD con artist whose life unravels when a daughter appears. Critics praised his twitchy, layered turn. Ridley Scott directed. Hans Zimmer scored. The twist ending blindsided many, and Cage's obsessive door-locking routine became a fan favourite quirk. This ended up being one of like my... It's not one of my favourites. I mean, I've got it in my top 6, but this ended up being one of the films that I had absolutely no expectations of, and I ended up really enjoying it.
Yeah,
I knew nothing of it. I went in completely blind. I thought, oh, okay, he's playing a con artist. This might be something, and it ended up having a lot more heart, a lot more fun, and he gave a very good performance in this movie.
Yeah, so I've got this 2 above Captain Corelli's.
Okay.
So the 7th, I think.
Right. So we're in the ballpark there.
Yeah, just outside the top. But yeah, exactly the same. You know, a silly, stupid name. No one's heard of it. Can't be that good, but it actually really was.
Yeah,
and it was great. It was one of them where it was just engrossing. You think this people should know about this film?
Yeah, you'd think Ridley Scott directing it, Hans Zimmer doing the music. Like that's stellar off-screen stuff as well. So quite how this one escaped us back in 2003. Surprising because it's the kind of thing I like. So yeah. Good film. National Treasure 2004. Historian Ben Gates hunts a Masonic treasure, stealing the Declaration of Independence along the way. Critics were lukewarm. Audiences loved the history puzzle romp. Cage's delivery of the line, "I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence," became an internet classic. Now, it's not a film I thought was particularly good. I have got it in the upper mid because it was buy-in, which is more than could be said for some of the other films. Where do you stand on it?
Top 4. I love it. I love this one. The second one we'll get to. This one, I loved it. I couldn't believe I hadn't seen it though. I mean, this was the first episode of the podcast as well. And I thought, yes, if everything's like this, then this is going to be amazing. But
Imagine.
But I have seen it loads of times since.
Oh, well, okay. I haven't watched it back at all.
I watched them both back, you know, when that series came out. That came and went and flopped.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah. It was a bit rubbish. And
yeah, I didn't. I think I watched like half of the first episode.
So I watched, that was the last time I watched it, so it was a couple of years ago now. And obviously I think I had seen it years and years before. But it's just fun. It's just enjoyable. It's in the kind of Indiana Jones, Uncharted nonsense kind of era. It's adventure films that we don't get anymore. It's puzzles and stuff like that. It's the fun part of what the Da Vinci Code is.
Yeah, I get that. Like I like what it tries to do more than what it actually achieves. I think.
Yeah.
I think like I don't think it's a particularly strong film in that genre. It's absolutely fine. I see why people like it, but it's not. If you were to like say, "Oh, I want you to give me, you know, Indiana Jones type films," this would be pretty low on the list, if I'm honest, because it's just not that good. It's just fine for me, I think. Lord of War 2005. Cage plays arms dealer Yuri Orlov, charting his rise and moral decay. Critics admired its ambition and cool detachment. Real decommissioned weapons were used. NATO was warned before the filming of the tank scenes to avoid panic. I've got this top 6. This is again one of his better films of this run, I think.
Just outside B7.
Right, okay.
So yeah, again, just absolutely solid.
Really
well made. Felt we're getting a sequel to this.
Of all of the films from this period of time, this is not the one I would have expected a sequel to.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not unhappy about it. I will definitely be there. It just feels like a weird film to have chosen.
Yeah. But again, it's one that you see that it wasn't where I thought it was going to be. But you saw that you've seen the poster of it, and it was like up there with certain things like snake eyes and stuff like that. And I thought it's within like 5 years anyway, I think.
Yeah.
It's just one of them films that I thought, yeah, okay, this is just Cage films. But actually, this was not just a Cage film. It was really clever, and it was important in a way. And you watch it, you know, if we watched it out this week, yeah, that's actually really important.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of, thinking back to it, I'm amazed that it wasn't Oscar nominated, because it feels like the type of movie that the Academy would lap up. So it is a bit surprising, but it is a very good movie nonetheless. Another film that I really enjoyed in this period, the next one, Stu, also 2005, The Weatherman.
Yeah. Chicago
weatherman juggles career success and personal failure. Critics were split. Cage's sad sack performance drew praise, though. Director Gore Verbinski reportedly threw the fast food that hits Cage on screen. I thought this was a really nice story of a man on edge who manages to pull his family back from the brink. I really like this movie.
Second best film of the decade for me, A2.
I can't argue with it. Like, I'm not sure I would go quite that high, but I can absolutely see why you would say that. I think it's very well made. Just on IMDb, it's got like 6.5, which kind of feels a little bit low. I wonder if maybe it's a sign of the times. If people were watching it then, maybe they think different about it. But yeah, I've got it top 6. I haven't really placed mine yet, but yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure at the time we talked about it, like the stuff that came out around it, it just got swallowed up, and it didn't get the love that it deserved.
Quite possibly. I remember, like, one of the things I remember liking about this film is it's not just Cage's performance, but I thought that Michael Caine was really good in this movie.
Mhm.
His daughter, Shelley, um, Jemine de la Pena, I remember her performance being in this, because doesn't she call one of her kid friends a cunt? Nick
Mm.
Holt's in this movie, and obviously he plays someone who gets diddled by one of his professors. And there's a lot going on, and it has a really good heart to this movie that makes me quite surprised that the reviews have been very split on this film. Next up is The Ant Bully from 2006, animated tale of a boy shrunk to ant size. Cage voices Wizard Ant Zoc. Reviews were mixed. This was DNA Productions' final film before being closed, possibly because Cage's ant eyebrows were too intense. I've got it lower mid. I didn't hate it, but it's not particularly great.
Mm. I've got I've got it top 6.
Really?
I really liked it. I don't know why, if it was a nostalgia thing.
Mm.
I mean, this one's not set in stone at all, but this is just one of my flight of fancy kind of things that
Mm.
I just really liked it. And I think, yeah, it was one of the examples. Well, the Croods later on, like, yeah, he can do voice acting quite
Mm.
easily.
Yeah. Like, I think he's good in it. I think the film as a whole, I think he's just possibly a little bit too juvenile to really,
Yeah, maybe.
like, I don't think you're ever gonna, when you look back on Cage's films in 5, 10 years' time, to look at his top 50, you're probably not gonna be looking at this one, maybe.
I mean, actually, you could probably swap this out with another one that's another animated voiceover film later.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we've got, like, I've got that one, because the one that I think you're
Yeah,
talking about, I've got in upper mid. So
yeah,
maybe that was it. I was thinking it's between those two, and
yeah.
one's got to go. Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a sec. What I have got as bottom 6 though, Stu, is World Trade Center from 2006. Oliver Stone's 9/11 drama about two Port Authority officers trapped in rubble. Critics found it respectful and restrained. Cage plays Sergeant John McLaughlin. With uncharacteristic understatement, he prepared by spending hours in a sensory deprivation tank to simulate claustrophobia. I thought it's just crap. The beginning's really good. I mean, say it's good. When the towers go down and all that's done really well, and it's quite intense. But a film with two people lying in rubble for that long is just not interesting.
Mm, yeah, it's lower mid for me. I had C6. It's just a bit dull, really.
Yeah.
And the fact that he came out so quickly afterwards as well.
Within 5 years of the actual thing, yeah. That doesn't feel at all respectful, does it?
Yeah, it feels like we should have one next year for the
Yeah.
25-year anniversary,
Yeah.
which again is mental to think that that's 25 years ago.
Oh, God.
Um,
Terrifying, isn't it?
but yeah, it just was not what I thought it was going to be at all. And
No.
yeah, and I get that they made it and that all the money into the families and whatever, but it's just a bit shit. It's not in a bad way. It was just a bit there, and that was it.
Mm, I don't really know what the message of the movie was. Like, I don't know what they were trying to say. Because it wasn't really about, it wasn't all that rah-rah America. It wasn't, we've come through this and we're bigger and better and badder and we're gonna bomb the shit out of you, like they did in the real world. It was none of that. It just sort of ends on, "Oh, we now need to find more people." Okay. Like, we sort of lived through it. It wasn't awe-inspiring, and this film wasn't awe-inspiring either. It was just such a miss for me on some,
Yeah.
like, this is the defining moment of pretty much the last or everything since World War II ended. This is probably the moment, isn't it? I think that the world is divided into pre 9/11 and post 9/11,
Yeah.
and this film offers fuck all. So what a waste. The Wicker Man 2006. How did he do fucking the World Trade Center film and Wicker Man in 1 year? That is ridiculous. This is a bad run of films at this point, Stu. So, The Wicker Man. Cage investigates a pagan island called Bees Happen. Critics savaged it. Audiences memed it. Cage insists it was meant to be an absurdist black comedy. Not the bees scene is now immortal internet currency. It is. It's next to probably like a Vampire's Kiss. That is the Nick Cage meme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I love the film, but it's not good.
I mean, it's the... What else have we got on this list now to come? It's there was Christmas Carol, which is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2 up from that for me.
Okay.
It's just terrible. I think the fact that they remade a very good film anyway,
Yeah.
for no apparent reason at all,
Yeah.
made it look worse, and then turned it into this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was made deliberately to take the piss, then fine. Like this Anaconda thing.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, okay. You can't really remake that in a serious way anyway, because it's always going to look stupid. So you might as well have a laugh at it. Although they did the first Anaconda on Corridor Crew a few weeks ago. Funnily,
Really?
I hadn't even thought about it for ages.
No.
And then they were breaking down how well the puppet was, because it was part puppet and part like stop motion stuff and early CG. But yeah, this was unnecessary, stupid.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even fun though. I mean, it was funny afterwards to talk about it, but it was a bad film.
Like, whenever I think about The Wicker Man, the first thing that springs to my mind is where Lily Sobieski is in the cafe part, and you just see Nick Cage do that drop kick, like off camera. His foot just flies across into her face from out of nowhere. That's all I ever remember about it, because that's like the best and worst about this film is that it was just so ridiculous. I mean, it's more watchable than some of the other stuff, but not for the right reasons.
No,
because like you say, it's just a terrible, terrible film.
I mean, I'd watch The Wicker Man 10 times more than I'd watch Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree completely.
But
and probably more than I'd watch World Trade Center, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And potentially more than the next one, Ghost Rider 2007. Stunt biker sells soul, becomes flaming skull demon biker. Critics panned it. Fans enjoyed the camp. Cage, a Ghost Rider superfan, had to cover his own Ghost Rider tattoo for filming. I just found it really... Like, at this point in time, we're getting shit like the Fantastic Four movies. Just really flat, dull, lifeless pap. And Ghost Rider just felt like it was another one of those. I appreciated the second Ghost Rider film, which we'll talk about next. I appreciated that more because that tried something. I just found this one to be really bland, really just so one note throughout the entire movie.
No, I like this one. It's still like upper, the top of the lower middle, if that even makes sense. It's a C rating kind
top of the bottom half, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. But it's of its time, like Blade and all that's obviously better than it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just because it is what it is, and it's that kind of era, it was fine. And
maybe that's it. So I didn't see it at the time. I saw it for this podcast. So maybe that's it.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't even... a lot of it, I don't remember if I had seen it at the time or not. It just all blends into one, but that was at that point of the incident.
Yeah.
I definitely hadn't seen the second one before we did this podcast. I know that for a fact. But I like the first one. I don't know why. the fact that it's still not MCU canon anyway. The only thing of all the bollocks that isn't.
That is mad to think about it, isn't it? So we've had World Trade Center, The Wicker Man, Ghost Rider, and the next film is next in 2007. This is an all-timer run of stinkers for me. So next, Vegas magician can see 2 minutes into the future. What a useless fucking thing that would be. FBI wants him to stop a nuke plot. Critics found it muddled. The ending is infamous for being fake out vision. Cage wears a gold jacket as a nod to the Philip K. Dick story it is based on. Like, this is one of the legendary rants of this podcast, I think. Like, I almost want it to be top 6 just for that, because it's not. It is bottom 6. It is such a bad film.
It pisses me off so much, this film does. It's been so long now, I haven't gone back and listened to that for a while.
No, I was just thinking, I wouldn't mind listening back to some of the old episodes and see what it was like.
But I was tolerating it. I'm not going to get all wound up again. Well, I was tolerating it until the fact that it just ended.
Yeah, like it's like what, 85-90% a fine film. Nothing great, but it's fine. But that last 10%, that, like I said, the fake out, it was all a dream, that can fuck right off. That's an insult to audiences. That is.
Yeah, it was a fun sci-fi film up to a point.
Mm-hmm.
But not in the kind of 28 years later kind of way where the last 5 minutes ruins the rest of the film, potentially, depending on who you are. This was just wank. And it's been brought up every time we've done one of these things, and every time we basically, every time we moan about stuff, this is always the go-to. Is it worse than next? Not many things are. And when we do the final 5 of all time, this is going to be in there, regardless of all the other shit that's happened. This is always going to be in there because it made me so angry.
Yeah. It's just so insulting to waste your time watching a film to then be told that everything you've just watched doesn't matter because it didn't happen. I just find that so insulting. Like, and not to bring up the MCU again, but that's why that has done that for me. Because with the whole wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey bollocks, bringing people back from the dead and all that nonsense, you're telling me that everything I've invested into you is worthless. I've watched too many fucking films for you to tell me my life is worthless at this point. So you can't do that to me. And that's what Next did.
You know, that's how they ended Crossroads.
I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about Crossroads. It might have been that the problematic gaze thing. Yeah, I didn't realise. Didn't it just turn out to all be the dream of a cashier or something like that?
They were all working in in a nondescript supermarket, and all the main characters were on the tills. And it was just someone's daydream that all this stuff had happened in the last 3 years, which is a detailed daydream, to be fair. But yeah, and the hotel manager was just someone just bagging up stuff. Like,
it's so weird because like I never watched it, and obviously I don't check on anything Crossroads related now. And like, there's yourself, and I listened to a podcast yesterday. Literally, that podcast I'd said to you, the problematic gaze, where they look back at old stuff and just say like how it would have translated now. And they mentioned it on that, so that's like 2 things in 2 days spoke about fucking Crossroads to me. It's so bizarre.
And the half of the episode that we, again, going back to World Trade Center, that was what was on when the ITV cut away to go to the live footage in New York. We never got the second half of that episode because they waited till the fucking ad break. So it went to the ad break, it didn't come back on, and we never got the second half of the episode.
Scandalous. Is it not available on torrent?
It was never broadcast. They did a catch up at the start of the next one.
Okay. That's horrific. If only the Taliban knew what they The next film, I think, might be the one that we alluded to when we were speaking about the ant bully. Were you talking about G-Force from 2009? Spy guinea pigs battle an appliance-based villain. Critics groans, kids loved it. Cage voices a mole named Speckles. The idea came from the director's 5-year-old son.
It was brilliant.
I've got this up. Yeah, I've got this upper mid. Like, I really enjoyed myself watching this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's the best thing. I think it might be the best of his kid-focused films at this point. Thoroughly enjoyable. I laughed a lot more than I expected to.
It was great. I mean, I was so happy that when we watched it, and it wasn't one of the nostalgia ones that I'd obviously watched before, and I enjoyed it a lot more than watching it independent of children around, because it's just fun.
I laughed a few times, and I was worried that I was going to find it funny and you were going to think I was a fucking idiot for laughing at it. So I was so pleased when I came on and you liked it too. I thought, okay, at least I know I'm all right then.
Yeah, it just puts a smile on your face. The whole film.
You did, yeah, tremendous work. Loved it. Upper mid, I've got that one. Yeah. The other film then we've got from the more kiddified Cage at this point is Astro Boy, also 2009. Animated reboot of the manga classic. Robot boy seeks identity and saves Metro City. Mixed reviews, praised visuals, criticised simplification. Cage voices Dr. Tenma, the grieving creator. I don't even remember anything about this film, to be perfect. Like, it just left no impact on me whatsoever. I had to look at what the story was about to get any kind of recollection. I've got it low and mid. Honestly, you could tell me this is the best, the worst. I wouldn't really have a clue because I've got it low mid because it left very little imprint, but I remembered the actual animation in it being quite good to look at. That's literally the only saving grace I've got here.
Yeah, it was like early Sony Pictureworks kind of CG, and yeah, the same. I remember watching it and thinking it was very. It wasn't even there. It was just kind of its time.
It was just very It was just like,
yeah, it was
just
It was a kids CG film from the mid 2000s, and that was all it was. And until you just said that about the grieving scientist, I thought, oh yeah, that's actually what it was about.
Yeah,
because I'd forgot.
Same. Not great. The final film, so film 22 of the 10-year stretch. 2009's Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. Cage drug-addled cop investigates a murder in a post-Katrina New Orleans. Critics loved the gonzo energy. Herzog denied it was a remake. The iguana close-ups, Cage's idea. Of course they were. I loved it. Top 6. Of all the films we've watched, this is the one that I look forward to revisiting the most. Whether or not that makes it his best film, I'm not 100% sure. I know at one point this was like the top of my top 5. With a bit of distance from it, I'm not sure overall. But for this period of time, I think it is potentially even top 3, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's it's one of them in the top of the B's. Ironically, yeah, it was because of the Harvey Keitel Bad Lieutenant. That was all I could think of going into it. This is a better film than that is, anyway, and it's not the same.
No, it's not. They're doing another one, Bad Lieutenant. I think it's Tokyo, which is going to be out, I think, next year or potentially the year after. So they are returning to the they're just going to do a different story of a different Bad Lieutenant. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So they're not related. They're not remakes. They're not reboots. They're not even really sequels. It's an anthology film, I suppose you'd call it. I like that approach, and I'd be quite happy for more of that, to be honest.
Yeah,
especially if Herzog's doing it. Yeah, I think that'd be decent. And when you give it to someone like Herzog, I think he usually gives you something interesting. Yeah, I love Bad Lieutenant. I think it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, other than the weird gecko stuff.
Yeah. But again, I didn't hate that. It was just
Strange.
weird as shit. But like the whole film is Cage being off his fucking face on drugs, so it sort of makes sense, I suppose, that it is a weird world that they're set in. Right,
There is-
okay. Oh, yeah.
There's three films that you just missed off this list.
Which three?
So National Treasure 2.
Oh shit! How is that not on the list?
I went through the IMDb list and just did it through the thing in his
That
discography.
is weird. Right, there's the list. Okay, so we've got, oh yeah, that's 2007 National Treasure Book of Secrets.
Which is lower.
So more Ben Gates. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as good as the first one, and I didn't particularly like the first one. So I agree. I would go with lower mid on that one. Oh, Bangkok Dangerous.
Yes, that's next.
I've got that on the list. Oh, that's between. Oh yeah, I have got these ones. That's weird. I don't know how I've jumped across from next to G4. Sorry, I do have these. Yeah, Bangkok Dangerous, 2008. Hitman in Thailand breaks his own rules. Mentors are local. Critics called it dull. Cage sports a divisive wig. Filming coincided with a real coup. Production paused for only 6 hours. I've got that bottom 6.
Yes, have I.
Yeah, like again, I don't remember a lot about that film other than he fancied a girl who was deaf in the movie, and
Yeah,
that's all I remember.
The mute girl and the jumping from speedboats thing. That was it.
Like, I have no idea what the actual plot of that film is, and we watched that this year,
Yeah.
so that's not good. At number 19 then will be Knowing, so that's the last one. 2009, Professor finds a code predicting disaster leading to an apocalyptic solar flare. Critics were split. The ending divided audiences. The plane crash scene was shot in one continuous take with complex effects. I've got that bottom 6. I fucking hated that film.
It's lower mid for me. Again, this was one that I watched this in the cinema at the time. And loved it. But it was in my Roland Emmerich phase of, disaster all the time. This was the worst of them, obviously, and not by him. And and when we rewatched it, I was very disappointed because it wasn't what I remembered it being. Yeah, it wasn't great, but
I think my reaction was similar to yours to Next, I think, because it just felt insulting the whole way through. That none of it tied up, none of it made sense. Didn't the kids get saved in the end and live on some other fucking planet? Like, it's been a long time since we've seen this, so I don't remember exactly what happens.
it's either not
Furious at the end of it.
Yeah, it's either another planet or heaven, depending on how you
Yes,
look at
that was it. Yeah.
it. So you have the tree of life and all that kind of stuff. So it was a bit. it was pushing the message a bit too far.
That was it, 'cause his son could hear the people, couldn't he?
Yeah. So it's a whole aliens versus angels kind of thing.
I hated it so fucking much. Terrible film. Yeah. So that's the 22. I don't know how I've missed those 3 out on the list because they are all here. Right, okay. So, like I said, I've got it in blocks. I've got a 6, 5, 5, 6. So if we start from the bottom. So in my bottom 6, I've got Sonny, World Trade Center, Wicker Man, Next, Bangkok Dangerous, and Knowing. I've got in my bottom 6. What are the 6 you've got in the bottom?
So I've got Bangkok Dangerous, Wicker Man, Christmas Carol, hang on, what's going on here? Oh, and Next, obviously that's the 4. And then I've got Sunny and Wind Talkers.
Right, okay. So I think the worst film for me, I personally think it's probably The Wicker Man.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
there's like the only redeeming features are things to laugh at, not laugh with.
But that's
Aren't they?
the only reason why I've got it above Christmas Carol, because there was nothing about that film.
Yeah. Like I've got Christmas Carol lower mid, but that would have been at the bottom of that. I'm quite happy to put that second last, 'cause I think I liked it a little bit more than you, but it's not much because it's like I said earlier, it's a very well-known story that is just an exact retelling of what we've seen a million times. So it doesn't really add anything of worth, does it? So I'm happy with that to be in 21st place, Christmas Carol. Next one up, Bangkok Dangerous, do you think, Stu?
It was just forgettable, wasn't it? So
It was like that's more of a crime to me than even Knowing or Next. Is that it came and it went, and I remember more about both of those films, and they were probably better made, other than the moments of absolute fucking dog shit that ruined the movies. Whereas Bangkok Dangerous never got going enough to get ruined, I think.
mm.
So we'll stick that in at 20. So what do you think next then? So we've got 19th place. So we've got Sunny, World Trade Center, Next, or Knowing.
It's next door now, innit?
It is, isn't it? I'm happy to go next, and then Knowing in 18th.
Yeah.
What do you reckon between Sonny and which is better out of Sonny and World Trade Center?
Well, Sonny's got the pimp stuff, so World Trade Center's worse than that.
Yeah, that is absolutely fair. So Sonny is 16th. Okay, so that's all of them. And we've moved that. So next up, so it will to 15th now. So Astro Boy, Ghost Rider, the Ant Bully, Wind Talk. Now I think Ant Bully needs to be more near the middle. I think Ant Bully's probably towards the top of the bottom half, personally.
Yeah, that's fair.
And probably I'd probably go Ant Rider. Sorry, Ant Bully. Yeah. Ant Bully, Ghost Rider, Wind Talker, Astro Boy. I think like top to bottom of those four. I think Ant Bully's better than Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I think I'd put Wind Talker in after Ghost Rider because I like the idea of it more than the execution. And Astro Boy was very nice to look at, but it was a little hollow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Would you agree?
Because Astro Boy's not bad. It's just a bit. It just fills the time. It's like Shark Tale.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that completely. It's just a film that we've seen and don't regret it, but also have absolutely no interest in ever revisiting it.
Mm.
Yeah, so Wind Talker, Ghost Rider above, and then the Ant Bully. Right, so we're in the top half now, so in 11th place. So, right, the next 5 that I've got in my list, so this is the upper mid for me then, Stu. National Treasure, gone in 60, G-Force, National Treasure 2, Captain Corelli's. Do you agree with that as upper mid before we get to the top 6?
Captain Corelli's top of that.
You think? Okay.
And then I could argue G-Force or National Treasure. I'd say put G-Force above National Treasure just because we both enjoyed it more.
That seems fair, actually. So Captain Corelli's, G-Force, National Treasure. Then Gone in 60 and then National Treasure 2.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the middle. So then I've got in my top 6 adaptation. I think we're both in agreement adaptation is the best film of this period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So adaptation. So I've got that. I've got Lord of War, The Weatherman, Bad Lieutenant, The Family Man, and Matchstick Men as the remainder of the top 5. What would you say is the second then? So if adaptation's 1, what have you got as 2?
I mean, I've got The Weatherman as my number 2. Matchstick Men, I could be persuaded as being second as well because it's up there.
I think I'd have gone with Bad Lieutenant second. I think I could agree with Matchstick Men. I think I'd go probably Matchstick Men second, Bad Lieutenant third, Weatherman fourth.
It's a Family Man or Weatherman, eh? It's one of the...
I think the Weatherman is a better film.
Yeah.
I think Weatherman is a better film. So let's stick Matchstick Men in second. Let's leave third and fourth for now. So I think the third and fourth will come down between Weatherman and Bad Lieutenant, which leaves us with The Family Man and Lord of War for 5th and 6th place. Lord of War is probably the better film. That's not to say I enjoyed it more, because I'm not sure if I did. I did really enjoy Family Man. I think Lord of War probably edges it though. It's probably more depth to it.
Yeah, it does. And Family Man is, however much I love it, it is Scrooged.
Yeah. It's A Wonderful Life again. Like, we've seen it, we know this film, but that doesn't take away from how much fun and all the good stuff. It just makes it slightly not as good as something as original as Lord of War, I think. Yeah. Right. So then that leaves us then third and fourth place. Like, I love Bad Lieutenant. I think it's an excellent film, but The Weatherman is great. Like, I really like the message to The Weatherman. I think I'll concede. Like, I think Weatherman and then Bad Lieutenant. But the top 4, the top 6, really, I think when I look at this list, to me, it does feel like it is a very clear distinction between the top half being decent, like even at its worst, it's still good, and then the bottom half being quite shit, to be perfectly honest.
Well, it is for this, and then you compare it to next week, and
I'm dreading it. I had a quick look, and there's like 40 entries on IMDb for the teens. I think there's a couple of games in there that he's done voices on that are included in that, so they won't count. But like, comparatively, there is a lot of shit. Because like we are going to enter the dark times of Cage, the real dark times of Cage. It's it gets pretty fucking harem scarum in parts, I think. Okay, so adaptation: Matchstick Men, The Weatherman, Bad Lieutenant, Lord of War, The Family Man, Captain Corelli's G-Force, National Treasure, Gone in 60 Seconds, National Treasure 2, The Ant Bully, Ghost Rider, Wind Talker, Astro Boy, Sonny, World Trade Center, Knowing Next, Bangkok Dangerous, Christmas Carol, and The Wicker Man is the worst film of Nick Cage's noughties run. I think that is a very good list at top to bottom.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think we've covered it. Yeah, 100%.
That bottom 6 is atrocious as shit. Compared to the rest.
Fuck, I mean, it's weird because like the bottom one, like The Wicker Man is the worst film, but it's more watchable than Christmas Carol, Bangkok Dangerous, Next, and Knowing.
Yeah,
it's a more watchable film. It's worse, but it's got the roomness about it, hasn't it? Like, you can laugh at parts of it, which you're not laughing at any of the other films because they're just turgid dog shit, absolutely horrific.
I mean, we have done this before. Like, shall we just move it up for that reason? I know it's not like it's supposed to be there. I mean, it's not supposed to be funny, but it's.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing the best, this is the worst.
Yeah, it is.
But it is more watchable, isn't it?
I mean,
like, there is something to be said for that you can sit and watch this film and enjoy the experience, even if it's horrific.
I mean, it's terrible, but it's more fun than Bangkok Dangerous. It's more fun than Next. It's more fun.
I almost want to put it up to like 16th.
That's the thing. The Wicker Man is bad, but it's better. I'll watch The Wicker Man more than I'll watch Christmas Carol ever again.
I mean, yeah, 100%. Like, I'm never watching Christmas Carol again. Bangkok Dangerous, Next, Knowing. Never watching World Trade Center again. I'm probably not watching Sonny again or Astro Boy. So are we putting Wicker Man in 15th and dropping everything down one? Do you think that's erasable either?
No. Right. I mean, it was. It's memorable. So
Wicker Man's actually the 15th best. Like, that's how bad this run of films are. Is just that, like, there's some real dirge in there that is. Some of it's unwatchable and some of it is instantly forgettable.
So
and Wicker Man is neither of those things. It is watchable for the wrong reasons, and you will remember it again for the wrong reasons. But even so,
I mean, it's got to go. But it's above Next, definitely. It's above Bangkok Dangerous, definitely.
Yeah, it's above Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
I think it's more watchable than Knowing. I think Knowing's a real mess.
It is, but
I really do.
But I enjoy it. I think if you put it below Knowing, I think Knowing is a better film than Wicker Man. It's a better made film, and regardless of what the message actually is, at least it's got a point. And I think the three I just mentioned are all worse than Wicker Man. Christmas Carol, Bangkok Dangerous.
The thing is that Next isn't a terrible film for the majority of the runtime. It is just that ending.
Yeah, but Wicker Man is better than. It's more fun than watching Next because Next pisses you off. Put it above them three. There. I think that's fair.
So let's put it up to 19. Drop Next down to 20th, then Bangkok Dangerous. Christmas Carol's the worst of the bunch.
Yeah, that seems fairer.
Yeah, okay. Right. The final round of film that we need to watch, Stu. Directed by Nick Powell. Didn't he play for Man United? Directed by James Dormer. Sorry, written by James Dormer.
I wonder if was it Nick Powell?
The same one.
Was Nick Powell the guy who starred next to Jasper Carrot in The Detectives?
That was Robert
Powell.
Robert Powell. Jesus Christ in it wasn't The Passion of the Christ. What was it? He played Jesus Christ in something, but I can't remember what it was. Yeah. So Nick Powell is hang on. All of these are like fucking stunt stuff. Stunt and assistant. Why is that? It's listed him as director for Outcast, but when you click on his page, it doesn't have it as. Oh, it does. It's because they've hidden some of his stuff. So he's directed 2 films. Oh my god, he directed Primal. It's in a 19 and Outcast. And Outcast has got a lower rating than fucking Primal. He went by Nicholas Powell when he did Primal rather than Nick Powell, but
The Tiger.
Wow. So yeah, we're watching Outcast starring Hayden Christensen and Nicolas Cage from the director of Primal. A mysterious warrior teams up with the daughter and son of a deposed Chinese emperor to defeat their cruel brother who seeks their deaths. Why is he talking about Chinese emperors and it's fucking Anakin Skywalker and Nick Cage? Is this going to be set in China, but nobody is Chinese? It feels like a lot of the cast appear to be of Chinese ancestry, at least. And then they've got 2 gaijins in Nick Cage and Hayden Christensen. What a way to end a 5 and a bit year run of watching Nick Cage films. We'll have to put our tuxes on and everything for next week's recording, Stu, and make it special.
I mean, that is the problem here. Are we doing 2010 till 2019?
We may have to split it, because there are
we
far too many films.
Because it does feel like it's slightly unfair. But we should be technically we should be doing that, and then we'll revisit this in 4 years' time when the 2020s are over.
Yeah, but like looking at so 2010, it starts off we have Kick-Ass, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Season of the Witch, Drive Angry. I mean, even up to stuff like Ghost Rider, we've got some decent stuff. The Croods, Joe, very good film. And then we hit films like Rage, This Outcast coming up, Left Behind, Dying of the Light. All of a sudden, these films drop from 6.5, 7.5 to 4s, 4s and 5s. Like we've got the Snowden one in the middle, which I think, like, again, that seems to be an outlier because we're then back to the USS Indianapolis, Courage, Army of One. So it does feel like there's, and then like we come out of it in 2017 with then we get straight back with Looking Glass and 211, Between Worlds, Spider-Verse. We do come out of it in 2019, in fairness, but that run from 2014 to 2018 is honking. Absolutely honking, and there's a lot of it.
Yeah, that D category is going to be swelling up.
Fucking hell. It really is. So whether or not we split it and do
we do it with
14 and then 15 to 19?
No, we do it properly. Do it all in one go.
Maybe we do it all in one go and then we split the podcast. That's a 4-hour record. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, Outcast, the final one. I hope you're prepared, Stu.
I'm so excited. I might watch it tomorrow.
But it's fine because we'll be back with Cage at some point. I mean, we've got Madden coming up. We've got Lords of War, I should say, the sequel. We've got The Prince, whatever that is. We've got Beyond the Spider-Verse in 27. We've got The Carpenter's Son in 25, apparently, according to this. That must be next year at this point. So I don't think that's got a release date. Spider Noir, which is going to be next year. And of course, the rumoured True Detective. So we will be back with Cage quite a bit. Oh my God. The Carpenter's Son. And it looks like it might be a biblical fucking epic. Family hiding in Roman Egypt, son known as the Boy, Doubt's guardian, the Carpenter, rebelling with mysterious powers. As he uses abilities, they face natural and divine horrors. Is this the fucking story of the Bible or something?
It is.
So Cage is playing the Carpenter. I mean, wasn't Jesus a fucking carpenter's son? Is that what this is going to be?
So he's playing Joseph.
Dear. Well, he's playing the Carpenter. That's his character name. This is going to fucking stink. Oh, God, Nick.
Yeah, but then you go from the Surfer, available on Sky Store now.
Yeah.
To this.
Yeah. I mean, there is some stuff in there that I am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the Madden film. I'm looking forward to Lords of War. Obviously, Beyond the Spider-Verse. Spider Noir should be class. True Detective. So there's a lot that I am very much looking forward to. The Prince, a satirical drama exploring the life of a troubled son within a powerful American dynasty. Cameron Van Hoy, I don't know that name, but Nick Cage, Giancarlo Esposito, Andy Garcia, J.K. Simmons. It's a good cast. Wayne Brady's in it as well. Yeah, I don't know much about this film or the director, but I like the look of that cast.
Maybe we should do it in a few weeks as well. Like once we've ranked all these up until obviously we're 4 years away from this decade finishing. But you should do it, go on Canva and do it in a nice little graphic of each decade.
That's not a bad idea.
I presume you've saved all this stuff.
I've got it somewhere. Yeah. If in fairness, I've obviously got the podcast I can just listen back to and
80s, 90s, 80s, 40 years of Cage
40 years of Cage.
in graphic form once it's all done.
That's it, yeah. Can put it out on the Twitters and Instagram and all that. It's at Cage Fighting Pod if you want to get us on there. It's cagefightingpod@gmail.com if you want to drop us an email. Make sure you got us on whatever podcaster that you listen to us on, and a 5-star review would be phenomenal. 5.5 years, Stu. Like, I mean, I genuinely feel a little bit emotional that we finally got here. I have got a statistic to drop on you next week of how much time we've spent watching Nick Cage, and it was fucking depressing. Stu, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, considering we started doing this, watching 2 films a week, ticking them off, thinking, yeah, we'll be done soon. And then, if we'd gone through the old way of doing it, of breaking each film down rather than just summarising it in 25 minutes,
yeah,
that would have been a lot worse.
I think so.
The change of format worked better.
I mean, some of these films, I like, because I'd have to watch it and then rewatch it to make notes. Like, I'm not doing that with fucking Bangkok Dangerous. Fuck that. Jesus. Yeah. Horrific.
Been an honour. Men of Honor.
USS Indianapolis, Men of Honor. Yeah, that's it. That does. Goodbye. It's goodbye from me too. And remember, be excellent to each other.